Hi Floss friends! My name's Amanda. This is Sycamore Stitches, my channel about cross stitching. And it has been like 6 weeks or so since my last Flosstube. Apparently summertime is a little difficult for me with the kids home because I normally make videos while they're at school. And yesterday was their first day of school, so here I am. We are also just super busy trying to fit lots of things in for the summer. Um, Last time we talked, I was about to head out on vacation, which was like the second half of July, um, which was great. And maybe I'll talk a little bit about that at the end after the stitching. And I don't really have any excuses for August, almost all of August. It's the, what, 26th now. Just having the kids home and being busy. So, in these 6 weeks, I've done probably less stitching than my average, but still, since there's been so much time, I think I've made a lot of progress. So, I guess let's get to it. Usually we start with finishes. I haven't had any finishes. I haven't had any new starts. I had started a couple things in a row right before my vacation because I had certain things I wanted to, that I thought would be good for travel stitching. So, and normally I try to not start something unless I finish something. So if I don't finish anything, I don't try not to start anything. But that's not like a hard and fast rule. But this is, I will start with my page finish though, which is still pretty significant, even though it is not a finish itself. Let me show you the picture first. This is, I think, just called Bear. I refer to it as Watercolor Bear, and it's by Alisa Okneas. So it is like a 16-page pattern, and I've been working on this top strip here. And I was working on page 2 and 3 together because they had very similar like colors and stuff. And I finished both of those. And page 4 is completely blank because of this upper corner. So I'm done with this whole top strip now, which is super exciting. Anyhow, that looked funny to me. I have not had this off the Q-snap since I started it. So it looks very odd to me, but how do I do my lighting? It's been a long time. I can't really remember. So I don't stop right at my page break. So I think the page break at the bottom is probably around like here. If I have the color on, I've continued over it. But so yeah, this is page 1, 2, and 3. And that's all done. So it was time to take it off the Q-snap. I had some thread up here that was like from when I measured it that I was finally able to take out because I took it off. And let me back up. You can see this is pretty big. This is just on a 28 count Monaco, which is actually I really like. It's kind of got a lot of stiffness to it compared to the Lugana that I typically seem to use. And that's good because this is the Q-snap I use for this. It's very large. I don't even know what the measurements are, but I'm not going to just go right down to the next row and work. What I'm planning to do is I'm going to continue my tree trunk, just kind of the tree trunk area, so not like the whole page, all the way down till I get to the bottom. I'm going to basically put it in the Q-snap, in this up and down section. Once I get down to the bottom, I'm going to go across. I don't know, I just kind of want to see the size of it. And then I'm going to fill back this part in. Currently, that's what I want to do. And like I said, also just I'm tired of the tree branches that I've been on. So I'm going to go down the tree trunk, I'm going to go across this bottom area, and then I'm going to kind of fill this in. I have already been working on this for I think I started this in maybe October or November last year. So, and I'm at about 25%. So I don't know. I don't really have any sort of end goal of when this will be done. I do hope to kind of stay a little more consistent in it. For my 3 bigger projects that I don't find myself reaching for as much, I have given myself a little bit of a schedule. So this is supposed to be like my Friday morning piece, although it's Friday today and I'm doing this instead. So we'll see if I get to that later or not. You might have to wait till next week. So I'm trying to at least spend, you know, some time on it every day. These are more my big pieces that I can't just like take with me somewhere, or I don't know, they're my pieces that I have to kind of sit at my table to do. Oh, also, as far as that project, I was super excited about this. I got a little box to hold on my thread because it was just in like a bunch of different little Ziploc baggies. So this is, you know, all for that project. And then I can, and not all of it's even bobbinated because I haven't started all the colors. I should probably do that. But then I can kind of move it into different sections if there's like stuff that I'm finished using and stuff. Anyhow, I was excited about that. Okay, so yes, in addition, since last time I put in 1,049 stitches on that, and I'm at 26.27%. So there's that. My dogs are barking. I don't know if you can hear them. Next, this is just WIPS, I guess, works in progress. I started with that one because it was a page finish, but all the rest of them are just kind of general. Sorry if you can hear my dogs. I'm not sure if you can or not. Next is the Pro Choice Stitch Along. I have made some good progress on this, but I do need to just, I really want to just finish this one up. I'm just going to take a little bit of the Q-snap off so you can see all the pieces. Here is where we are on this. So I am about at 80% on Pattern Keeper, you know, whatever the app's called. It's leaving me right now. That doesn't count the backstitch. There is some backstitching too, but that will go fast. So I think 80% is pretty fair to say. Maybe 75, probably something in between those two. Since last time, these ribbons here, this one that says uterus and this one that says box, nothing inside the ribbons was done. So this was a lot of filling in of this blue color, and then I think this little box around here was done, but none of these words were. So that's what I've done since last time. About 1,800 stitches in 8 hours. I would hope to get this done. I'm hoping by the end of the summer, which is only in what, 3 or 4, I have like 3 or 4 weeks. So that is my current goal for this. The stitch along itself ended in June. So I think finishing it by the end of the summer would make me happy. I mainly have to do, there's some shading around these words, and there's like, then just like the whole, there's some doodaddies around this, and then these like corner things and all of the, what's that called? Border words. And then some backstitching. And then I never did finish the bottom part of this My Body. There's a whole color that I did not do. So, yeah. That is that. And I'm down to, these are the only colors left. I've put away most of them. So there's what, 5 colors I'm still not finished with. So making good progress. I do not have pictures from last time, and I need to leave everything out so that I remember to take pictures. That seems to be a weak spot for me. Next is Four Seasons. This is from Emma Congdon's Cross Stitch for the Earth. It is like a 4-season sampler. I'm trying to do every season within its season. I'm a little, so spring, so you can see, maybe. I started in spring. I did all the spring's done, and I'm working on summer now. And I have to finish it before fall, when I start the fall section. So here's where we are. Take off this grime guard. A little bit of the spring is covered up, but I'm not going to take it off. It's only a little bit because here's the edge right here. So I have been working on this section, which is summer. Made some good progress, but there is it's not exactly full coverage. There's obviously white that you can see, like, so you can see this finished section, there's white, but it's pretty close to full coverage. Last time I had all this blue and the bird and the bee and the honeycomb done, as well as I think the outline of this apple and these little branches inside, but none of the dark green, and I think this leaf here was done. So I filled in a lot. Everything at the top is done aside from filling in this tree. I've left that because that's kind of like some mindless stitching I'm going to get back to. This whole section here is done. This is done. I have to fill, yeah, there's stripes here, and then there's a sunflower that goes down. This is a duck. There's his eye. He has a beak here. He's kind of going to stay white. He just has like a wing to fill in. And then it's just like there's like a dragonfly, and there's some water and some fishes. I think I'll be able to finish it by the end of summer. Lots of greens. And then we'll start fall. Leave it out. Leave it out. Don't put it away. Take pictures. Just keep telling myself this. Since we last talked, I've put like 11 hours onto that one. Okay, next. Twisted Rainbow Sampler by Northern Expressions Needlework. I am looking for my picture. This is a twisted band sampler that is 17 bands, 18 colors. Every other band is cross stitch and specialty stitch. And I'm on this flower band right here, which is the same band I was on last time. I have made a plan with this one. Well, let me show it to you, and then I will tell you about my plan. You're not going to be able to see it all because I have it all kind of locked up here in its scroll frame. Hold on. Okay, just the very bottom. You can't see. I have one of these on the bottom because the scroll frame is not very good, and I am trying to hold it more taut. And then I put some fabric here so that it wouldn't crush my stitches. Anyhow, so last time I was probably about here on this green flower row. So I've been coming all the way up here. I have a little bit more to go, and then I switch colors to finish it. This is on a 32, yes, 32 count black linen. It is using Dinky Dye silks. This is the first time I've used silks. My only time using silks. I like them. It's fun. They're very vibrant. I'm so excited to be on this green section. I really enjoy cool colors more than I enjoy warm colors. Here are like the ones I finished, and these are the ones that I have yet to do. Lots of greens and blues and purples. This one is another one of the large ones that I've put myself on a schedule. So this is supposed to be worked on Wednesday mornings. It needs good light because of the black. But it's nice because it's very repetitive, the pattern. So once you get it started, you don't need to look at the pattern. You can just keep going based on like just looking at what you've already done. I started saying about my plan. So I started this right after the new year. I made an arbitrary sort of goal that I would like to finish it in a total of 18 months time. So that makes me have to do basically one band a month. But because the cross stitch bands take much longer than the specialty stitch bands, the schedule I made for myself is like 2 bands every 2 months, because it's going to take like a month and a half to do a cross stitch band and then just a couple weeks to do the specialty stitch bands, if you're following me. So in order to stay on that schedule, for August and September, I need to finish this band, the whole one. So there's another color over here, and the specialty stitch band that's next. So I'm not sure if I can keep to my own schedule that I've made for myself or not. If I can't, I can. But it would be nice because this would have me finishing this piece next June. That would be 18 months after I've started it. But also I was trying to make this my focus piece for June this year for Pride because it's rainbow. I didn't actually spend that much time on it. But it would be great to finish this for Pride next year. So I don't know if we'll be able to do it, but that's the idea. We shall see. Like I said, every Wednesday morning I'm going to at least try to devote to that. Because I like to spin a wheel to decide what I'm going to work on, but some of my big pieces like that has like a big scroll frame, it doesn't really work if I'm not sitting at my table. So I thought I would give a couple of my big ones like that their own special time, and then just spin the wheel kind of for my other things. We'll see how that works. Okay, next. Oh, me, I gotta find the picture of it. Is my Alforst Embroidery Frogs Princesses. This is the only picture I have of it. It was a kit. I'm using the kit floss, but not the kit fabric. It was I subbed it out for for one of my Fortnight fabric of the months, which is this pretty green, and I think it's called Staying Alive. So I have only done one motif since we saw you last, which is this one right here. But all I have to do is come up this motif on both sides, and then there's one small row across the top. So I feel like I've done the majority of it. You know, it's just going to be this wide all the way up and then over the top and over here. So that shouldn't be too bad. I made a schedule that if I do one motif every 2 weeks, I will be done by January 1st. And I can probably even go faster than that, but that's kind of like the bare minimum of what I want to be doing. This swan, he actually does show up well in person, but not very much on the computer. The fabric that had been in the kit was a dark green, and it made it, you can kind of see on the picture, it had less contrast, and so I went with a lighter green because I wanted more contrast. And this is a 32 count Lugana. Okay, next we have, oops, I need the picture of it. Olympic National Park from Awesome Pattern Studio. They're on Etsy. They also have their own website as well. And they have a lot of these very kind of geometric, colorful, vibrant patterns that have a lot of color block in them. So I had started this one as one of my travel pieces. Also, I love their like National Park series, and we went to Olympic National Park on our trip, as well as some other national parks. So that was why this was a travel piece for me. I have done about 2,400 stitches and 11 hours of work since last time, and we're at about, I think, 17%. I have to try to do math to figure out my percentage on Pattern Keeper because, sorry, go back to this for a second. It's charted as a square, but there's also marks to do this as a big oval, and I want it as an oval. That's the picture I had seen initially. So I had to block off a bunch of the pattern before I started. Anyhow, here's where we're at. This is all kind of the middle section. There's also white done, so you can't see it. See how you can see there's some white. I still have some sections. I left a bunch here for fill-in and the clouds. So, yep. I see that if I do 1,000 stitches a week, I could be done by the end of the year, but I'm not really sure if I will be able to keep up with that. That's a lot of stitches a week, but it's also, this is fast stitching because of the color blocks. But there's an awful lot of white and this light gray and this light blue that is just going to be like huge chunks, and yeah, I don't know if I have that as an actual goal so much as I was just trying to figure out when it could maybe be done with this. But not like I need to be done with it. I like it. Anyhow, it's on an 18 count. Ada. Okie doke. Sunflower. This is another Alisa Okneas pattern, the same one as that first bear, same designer. It is this sunflower pattern, which is actually very small. And I'm working on the cross stitch, and then these ones are really fun because once you finish the cross stitch, they look really fuzzy, and then when you do the back stitch, it's really bold back stitch, and it gives it a whole different look. So here we are. Last time, I think I only had this brown center and then like a tiny bit of gold, like one color of gold around both of these. There's probably 5 oranges, 5 different orange colors. 1, 2, I think 4 I've done, and I'm working on the 5th and final one. And I think just 2 browns. And then I'll start on the leaves, and then there's a little blue sky and sun. So these are the edges, I think. I think it basically fits inside this thing. I'm at 50% for the cross stitch, so it's moving along pretty good. And I will probably need to take a break after the cross stitch before I start the back stitch, because I always do. Because I've done several of these, like 3 of these pieces already, and yeah, that's what I do. So I would love to finish the cross stitch portion by the end of summer. Obviously, I like to make lots of goals about the seasons. And then probably take a break before starting the back stitch. So how many stitches have I done since last time? About 2,300. So I did a lot on that one. What is next? Here's my other large piece. So I told you the bears on Friday morning, twisted rainbows on Wednesday morning, and this is my Monday morning piece. Let me get something behind this. That didn't help. Let me get something else behind this. That helps a little bit. This is not cross stitch, this is counted canvas work. So it's more like a needlepoint, but obviously not a needlepoint where there's a painted pattern. There is a pattern that I'm following. So I apologize, I'm not going to take it out of the plastic, but this is what it will look like when it's done. It's called Azaleas by Moonlight from Nancy's Needle. And I've never done this kind of thing before, so I just bought the whole kit, including like the stretcher bars and everything, because I just wanted to try it out. So I'm getting close. So the chart has you do the middle square, and then like the top half, and then you like turn the whole thing around and do the same thing up here, down here. so weird because unlike cross stitch, you can just turn it any which way. It doesn't really matter. I don't know if you can see, but the stitches, they're just more like a needlepoint long stitch, and they just vary in their length. So I've only picked this one up one time since last time. So this like greenish yellow, it's a variegated that goes all along the top. That's all I've done. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, like 7 more sessions, and I should be done with this top section. It'll come out to probably about like here or so. And then I'll just need to flip it. So this one goes very quickly, but I don't like to do it for long periods of time. It's not super comfortable to hold with these like big stretcher bars. Okay, last WIP. Wow, there are, I think, 9 altogether. A lot. But like I said, it's been 6 weeks, so that's what you get. My last one is from Happy Sloth on Etsy, and it is called Teach a Man to Fish. It says, teach a man to fish. I can't read it backwards. Teach a man to fish, and he'll turn around and try to teach you to fish like he invented it, and you're an idiot. I really like the juxtaposition of kind of vintagey pictures with snarky modern comments. It cracks me up for some reason. It always has. I love like the cards you can get like that and stuff. So this was one of my pieces. This and Olympic Park are the 2 that I took with me on my trip and worked on, but I did not do a ton of work on them. Oops. This is also a Fortnight Fabrics Fabric of the Month, 32 count Lugana, and it's called Dancing Queen, and it's like a pink. So yeah, here's where I am. Last time, I think, so I've finished this lady's hair and this side of her arm, and I did this leg here, and then all of the man that I have done. His pants, as you can see, are completely filled in, so I guess that'll take a while. Although there's also, inside them is all filled in with like a cream color. There's only 2 colors in this cranberry and then a cream. So I will finish him, I will do all this cream inside them, and then there are the words, which I think the words will go quickly because they're only like one stitch wide each of the letters. So anyhow, I've only did 600 stitches since last time, but I'm at 20%. I just haven't picked this one up since I got back from vacation. Don't know why. Just didn't want to. It's very, very like kind of quick though. So that is it. As far as WIPs, oh my goodness. Okay, sorry. I got interrupted. And, but here we go again. I was almost done, but I did want to show you my haul, which isn't very much, but some of it I got on our trip. So I'm just going to combine a little bit of that into this part. We live in Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania in the United States, and we went on a huge trip with a bunch of like pent-up pandemic energy to the Pacific Northwest. And once we got there, we traveled all around. We were there for like over 2 weeks and put like 2,000 miles on our rental car. But while I was in Portland, we flew in and out of Portland, and then so we're there at the beginning and the end. Also went into Central Oregon, the coast, Seattle, and Olympic Peninsula in Washington. So I went to Acorn and Threads while I was in Portland, because apparently that's what you do in Portland. And I got some things while I was there. It was super exciting because we don't really have any big LNS stores here. I've been to like one that's not very close, and it's in someone's basement, and it's nice, but it's not like, it's not very large. And we have some needlepoint stores, and knitting stores, but not cross-stitch stores. So first I got a Mirabilia I had never seen this one before. I guess it's kind of new, maybe from last year. It's called Ophelia. So that's Ophelia, obviously dead in the water with the water lilies. I don't know. I just liked it. Haven't even started my first Mirabilia, and I bought my second. So hopefully I like them. Ha ha ha. You're not really seeing it well here. What is with my lighting? There we go. Maybe that's a little bit better. So yeah, they did not have like a bead pack for this. And I haven't even checked to see what flosses I need, but there were 2 Caron water lilies that are called for. One of them was there, so I bought it, but the other one, which is like a green, was not. But this is called Distant Hills, and it is very pretty. So, not really kitted up, obviously. I didn't get any fabric for that. Next, I got, so the Cottage Garden Samplings Year in the Woods. I am kind of I'm planning to do one from, not the whole thing, but one from each season. I already have the fox for winter and the ferret for spring. And this was my favorite of the summers, the Bardow. Barnow, not a Bardow, a Barnow. I love his colors, and at first I wasn't keen on his neck, but now the more I look at it, I just love it. So I got him. I also just grabbed his DMC and got a conversion of the specialty threads. Just did one while I was there. That was the fun thing about going to like a actual store, is you could like look at them right there. So I have a Threadworks. They don't put their names on there, so you have to look them up, but it's kind of like a variegated cream white. Which it calls for Weeks Dye Works Grits, which was kind of like whitish, creamy yellow. And then I also got, it calls for Weeks Dye Works Carrot, but I got a Classic Colorworks Old Marigold. It's kind of a pinky orange. So, got those. So this should be, it's not fully kitted because I don't have fabric for it yet. But that's the case for all 3 of these that I have. I did not get fabric for any of them. But I still also don't know which one I'm getting for the winter ones because we haven't seen those yet. Or not winter, fall. We have seen. There's the woodpecker, and actually I saw a bat, which, that's cool. I might do the bat, but I want to see what November's is first before I decide. So I got some specialty floss for the other 2. Never mind, I already have the specialty floss for the fox. But for the ferret, I got a, what is this? A Gentle Art Daffodil. Which is kind of a variegated yellow. That's for the flowers in there. And then the light brown that's in his body, I wanted a good variegation on that. I'm not sure which one. I'll have to do a floss toss, but I bought 2 Threadworks colors. Like a light tan brown and more of a medium brown. I don't know which one. The light one I think is more like the called for. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use. It calls for Weeks Dye Works Driftwood. But I got them both because Threadworks is not super expensive. So one of these will be what I use for that. I'm just going to put them both in there because I don't know yet. What else did I get? A couple needles, 28 and 26. And this Mill Hill kit, which I have some of these little like magnet ones, but this one's bigger. And it is called Outdoor Adventure. And it is real cute with like a tent and a canoe. And you know, like it's a Milho kit, so it comes with all the beads and the little treasure and all the yarn and the perforated paper. And this is finished size 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. So I think that's it. That's all the stuff I got. Okay, don't know where I left off, but my other haul is my Fortnight Fabrics Fabric of the Month. It's called Le Freak. That looks pretty good. It's kind of like a lighter yellow, buttery yellow. I really like it. I'm in the Groovy Ingredients Club, so I get a lot of bright colors, which I love, but this one's really a lot more neutral than the ones I usually get, and I like it. It's a 32 count Lugana, because that's what I always get. I am thinking about using this for, I know I showed my new Cross Stitch for the Heart book last time, and my favorite pattern in here, the first one I want to kit up, is this one, We Rise by Lifting Others. And I actually think that this will be very nice for that. There are some yellows, but like yellow oranges, but they're very bright. I think this will be, I like a lot of contrast. I like bright colored fabric, but I also like a lot of contrast. It doesn't really make sense. So I might kit that one up and use this for that. So that's it. I think I went over all of my plans while I was going through my projects. Thanks for sticking with me, and I will be trying to do my videos a little more consistently, every 2 weeks or bi-monthly, kind of how I was doing before, and try to not let them go 6 weeks, because that is a long time. So, okay, bye. Take care of yourselves today, and we'll see you next time.